Hi, fifth grade. So for our remote project this week, we're looking at tessellations, and we're looking at the art of M.C. Escher. This is sort of a continuation of us learning about the Surrealists, which we're also looking at this week, and it's a similar type of artwork, optical art, or op art. So to make a tessellation, that is a type of art that uses a repeated pattern that fits, they all fit perfectly together. So we're going to need a couple things for this. We'll need a piece of paper. If you have something thicker, like cardstock, it'll be easier, but it's fine if it's just regular paper, okay? You're going to need pencil. You're going to need scissors, 1 or 2 pieces of tape, and something to color with, some colored pencils or crayons, whatever you have at home. Okay, so to start, we're going to want a square. It doesn't have to be too big, but not too small. I have measured out about 3 by 3 here, 3 inches by 3 inches. So first thing, I'm going to cut out a square like that. And my other line I measured right here, and I'm going to cut up like that. Okay, so now we're left with a square. Okay, and what we're going to do is on that square, we're going to draw a pattern. It can be any kind of shape or pattern, but you want to start in one corner and end in the other corner. So I'll show you what I mean. Just something like, maybe like that, and end in the corner. All right, you're then going to cut that piece out. So I'm going to cut along the line I just drew. Remember, we're ending and starting at the corners. Okay, so we're going to carefully cut out the shape we just set up. Like that. Okay, now the reason it needed to be cut right on the corners is we're going to take that shape where we just cut it out, we're going to attach it on the top of our square. So now I'll take a piece of tape, going to line up that piece I cut out along the top and tape it together like that. Okay, then we're going to rotate it, and we're going to make another piece. This one will start in the corner, but we won't go all the way over. We'll maybe make just kind of a round shape like that. Okay, and obviously your version, you make whatever kind of shape you want. This is just an example. So we're going to cut that out. Like that. Okay, so we have the piece we cut out right there. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to move that to the top, line it up on the same side it was on. It came from the right side, so we're going to keep it on the right side. And then we're going to tape it down. Oops. Let's try that again. Might take you a couple tries, but that's okay. Just get it so it's lined up pretty good, and then tape it on. If it goes past the edge, just wrap it around like that. Okay, so now we have our piece. What we're going to do with this is we're going to think about what can we turn this into. I think one of the easiest things you can do to make a tessellation look like something is to make it look like sort of a monster. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's practice first. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice. So I have a scrap paper ready. I have my shape ready. Let's just trace it on there once. Remember, hold it down with one hand. Use your other hand to trace it. Okay, try to keep that other hand steady so it doesn't move at all while you are doing this. Okay, so now you have that shape. How am I going to turn this into a monster? Well, let's see. Maybe if we add some eyes down here, maybe he's looking down. Maybe on the outside. Make this his mouth. He's got some teeth, maybe a little tongue. All right. Maybe this is some kind of fin or arm. Maybe it's like a fish-like creature. maybe like that. Okay, and afterwards I can add details, and maybe I want some scales or things on there. Okay, so once I decide, okay, that's what I want my design to look like, we need to make our tessellation. So put that aside. Now I recommend when you start this, you should still be able to see the square shape you started with. Line that square shape up with the corner of your page, like that. And then just trace the part of it that's on the page, like that, okay? Because if you'll notice, I move it over, and see, it should fit perfectly there. And now I make the next one. I trace it along. So we're going to start like this, okay? See how those fit nicely into each other? Because that's how a tessellation works. Even on all sides. Line it up. Okay, now my top row is done. If I line it up underneath, you'll see these spikes fit right in where we traced them there. And then we can trace along the outside of this one. So this is sort of a math and art project. Line it up. Okay, and then that one should fit nicely if we did it right. Yep, right there. And we just need to trace the parts that aren't there. So over here. Oops. And in here. Okay, so now we have that. We can use our original monster sketch if we need a guide. And we'll start turning these into the monster. Now you can definitely mix them up. They don't all have to be exactly the same. You can change some of the features, or maybe where they're located, but you have to leave the outside shape of him the same so that it stays consistent. And the tessellation works. Like that. Maybe this one over here has different eyes. Maybe he's got happier eyes. Maybe he's looking over at the other one like that. Maybe he's got different teeth. You know, just mix it up like that. Give them different features, different shapes. Maybe this one has little different fins, kind of like that. Okay, so that's the general idea. And once you have all of your tessellation sketched, what I would recommend is use a few different colors as you color these in so they stand out from each other. So let me grab some colored pencils. Maybe the first one I'll start with. It's kind of an orangey red, so I'll just start along the outline. Okay. Now, most of your first day is probably going to be cutting out, building the tessellation, getting them all traced on there. So the coloring and the final work you can work on tomorrow on the second day of your remote learning. Like this. And again, the details are going to be up to you, but I'll just get a little bit of this done for you so you can see an example of what that can look like. Okay, sure you're filling it in, trying to make it look nice. Again, I'm just rushing a little bit just so you guys can see how these might look. All right, now he's mostly orange. And one thing I like to do is actually also go back maybe with a second color and kind of outline the exterior. So I'm going to go back in with a red and just really highlight that this shape is the original tessellation. So we really want to darken up this outside edge that separates each creature from the other. Okay. Right. Like that. Okay. And again, as you go from each one, switch up your colors so they stand out from each other. So this one might be more greens in him than the orange and red one. And obviously you can go back later, you can add other details. If you want the fins on this one to kind of be, maybe it's going to outline in blue. You can definitely do it lots of different ways. But again, just try to keep that outline solid, okay? And that way they really stand out from each other. Okay, and you'll have, about 3, 6, 9, maybe about 12, depending on the size of your stencil that you'll have on there. Okay, so this will take a little bit of time to do this last step. So again, this will probably be more in your second day. Okay. All right, friends, that's it for now. Enjoy. Happy drawing.